Hello everybody, welcome back to Compass and Layouts. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a rectangle to oval. So like this. We'll be working with an 8 by 4 oval to a 4 by 8 rectangle. And by the time we get done, we'll be producing this to make that. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, let's go ahead and start off by making the 4 by 8 rectangle. We're going to count up on the vertical line 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the horizontal line 8 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get our compass. I'm going to put it where the vertical and horizontal lines meet, and put our pinpoint where the 4-inch mark right there. I'm going to put my sharp point here now. I'm going to do a slight arc right there. I'm going to leave it in the same spot, open it up to the 8-inch. I'm going to lock it in place like so. Put my sharp point here now. Swing it over, strike an arc, and there's the other corner of our 4 by 8. It's kind of risky because I'm using a pen, not a pencil. Alright, so now let's go ahead and make our... So there's our 8 by 4. Now let's go ahead and make our 8 by 4 oval. So let's see here. So 1, 2. 1, 2. One, 2. Okay, so the reason I got 2 is because we have 4 right here. So what we're going to do is divide this 4 in half right here, and then that is going to give us 2 inches of arc going this way, and then 2 inches of arc going the other way to complete the oval. Okay, now let's go ahead and divide this 4 in half right here. So that's our halfway point right there, more or less. And on this side, 1, 2, same thing right here. Okay, so now we found these 2 points, and then here's where you're going to put your compass and then make your arcs to complete the oval. So we're going to take our compass, put your sharp point right here in the center, and then open up either here, here, or there. Doesn't really matter where. We're going to lock it in place, and we're going to go and confirm to see if it matches. Pretty close. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same thing here. So yeah, it matches pretty close. Okay. All right, there you go. Okay, now let's go ahead and divide these in pi. So we're going to put one here, a line here, and the line here as well. So since this is supposedly an even 2 by 2 square, we're just going to go ahead and use these 2 points to strike a mark right here. Okay, I guess we can do the same thing on this. This step is really not necessary to do it on this side, since everything's the same, everything's even. You really just need to do this one portion right here, not that. But it's okay, because what I'm going to do is to try to find these 2 points, we're going to be doing some cross information, or rather triangulation, to try to get these 2 points here. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark these as well, just to make things a little bit easy and make sure that everything makes sense. So now what we're going to do is do a strike here, 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 and here. So I'm going to do some random marks anywhere, like that. Go on this side. I think I need to go there again. There we go. And we can do the same thing on this. Again, for the people that already know how to do this, they understand that this side is not necessary, but all I'm trying to do is make it easy for everybody to understand and make sense of this. Okay, now let's go ahead and give these sections numbers. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to mark this as 1. Okay, this will be 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and give these some letters. These points right here, it's going to be the same thing, but we're going to go ahead and give this corner letter A, and we'll give this corner letter B. So that's what we have here. Letter A right there, and letter B right here. Okay? Alright, now let's go ahead and do our true length triangle, so we can transfer all this information onto the true length triangle. So we said that we're going to give it a 6-inch height, 6 inches. Okay, so we're going to go 6 inches right here. Alright, so now what we can do is transfer all this information onto our true length triangle right here. So before we do that, let's go ahead and establish the 6-inch height. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6 inches. So hopefully you guys can see that, 6 inches. Alright, so let's go ahead and start from here. Put your sharp point on A. It can either be on either B or A, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to go ahead and just start from there. Sharp point on A, and then open up my pencil point to number 1. And I'm going to lock it in place. And if everything was done evenly or correct, 1 should be the same as 5. See that? 1 and 5 should be the same. Okay? Put your sharp point on your vertical and horizontal lines meet, where your true length triangle is at. Swing it over and strike an arc right here. And you're going to call this number 1 and 5, because this arc is shared for both 1 and 5. Okay, let's go ahead and do the same thing with 2. Put your sharp point on A or B, it doesn't really matter, and then open up your pen or pencil point to number 2. I'm gonna lock it in place like so. 2 should be the same as 4. See that? 2 and 4. Okay, put your sharp point on your Julian triangle, swing it over, strike an arc. You're gonna call this 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Okay, and then the last one is 3. So let's put your sharp point on A or B, doesn't really matter, and we're gonna open it up to the 3, to number 3. I'm gonna lock it in place like so. Okay, put your sharp point on your true length triangle. You're gonna swing and strike an arc, and that's gonna be called 3. All right. Okay, so now that we have these numbered, we got all this information here, which is right here. Okay, and our 6" is going to be right there. Now what we need to do is find X, and X is right here. So you can't really see it, but because there's no deviation of these lines going to one side, but rather going straight up, it goes straight up like so. So it just goes boom, straight down. That means that there's no deviation on your true length triangle, so that means that you're going to be putting the X right here. So we're going to mark this as X. Okay. Okay, and then one last thing, one final step. This is probably not going to be making sense. I'm going to try my best to make it make sense, but when we normally do squared arounds, you know how in those videos, number 1s, when you do a circle, these lines normally meet right here in the center, and that's normally where you find 1 right here. But in this case, since we're making an oval, 1 and 1 are outside. So instead of meeting right here in the center, now they're going to open up. So somehow we need to find these starting points right here. Well, not the rather starting points, but rather where 1 is going to start at when you start doing the initial arcing. So the way you do that is by doing some triangulation measurements. So this is what I mean. And what you're going to be doing is getting the distance from B to 1 or from A to 1. So in this case, what you're going to do is you're going to take your compass, you're going to put your sharp point either on A or B, it doesn't really matter, but in this case I want to put it on A. Okay, and then I'm going to open up my pencil point to number 1 on the B side. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to lock it in place. So see that? Okay, this should be the same as these two. See that? They're the same. So I just show that to you guys again. So what you're going to do is take that information and put it on your true length triangle, swing it over, and then strike an arc. Okay, and what you're going to call this, you're going to call it either A to B1, B1, or this arc is also B to A1. Oops, to A1. So it's either here or here, and that's it. So really nothing to it, but you'll see once we start doing the layout where this will come in handy. Okay, so now that we got all this information, now we can go ahead and start doing the layout. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our starting points represent this line right here at 8 inches. So this is 8. So we're going to be doing our starting points of A and B right here. Okay, so we're going to make it at 8 inches. 8 inches right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a line going. Okay, and 8 is going to be somewhere around there. Let me just make sure. Okay, so I'm going to do it right here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and measure 8 inches. So this is going to be A. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is right here, and this side is going to be the B side. Okay? Alright, now we're going to have some fun. Now let's go ahead and start doing the layout. So get your compass. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and start off right here. We're going to get that triangulation that I told you about, because we need to find out where these points are going to be at. So get your compass and put it right here where A to B1 or B to A1, and open it up to your 6-inch height mark. Okay, we're going to lock it in place. See that? Okay. You're going to get your sharp point and put it on either A or B, doesn't really matter. And then what you're going to do is you're going to strike an arc on the opposite end of where B's at. So you're going to do an arc like so. Okay, do the same thing here. And then you're going to strike an arc on the opposite end where B's at. Like that. Okay, simple, right? Easy. Okay. Now what you're going to do is start by starting with these numbers here. So let's go ahead and start with number 1. So these two right here. So get your compass and put your sharp point where 1's at. And then open up your pen point or pencil point to your 6-inch height mark. We're going to lock it in place like so. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. Put your sharp point on A or B, doesn't really matter. And now you're going to strike an arc on these big ones right here. So boom, do the same thing here. Strike an arc there. Boom, and there you go. So now you've found 1. And then just to quickly show you guys, the distance from here to here is 4 inches. See that? 4 inches from here to here. This should be there. See that? So that's perfect. Okay, now let's go ahead and do 2 all the way to 5 right here. So now what we want to do is get the distance from 1 to 2. Put your sharp point on 1, and then open up your pen or pencil point to number 2. We're going to lock it in place like so. Okay, put your sharp point on 1, and then strike an arc outside of 1 like so. Do the same thing on this side. Strike an arc like that. Okay, now let's go ahead and finish off by finding 2. So put your sharp point on number 2 on your 2-link triangle. We're going to open up your pencil point to your 6-inch height mark. We're going to lock it in place like so. Okay. Put your sharp point on either A or B. Strike an arc right there. Go on this side, strike an arc here, and now you found number 2. 2, 2. Easy, right? Let's keep going. Now let's look for 3. Now let's get the distance from 2 to 3. So 2 to 3. Hopefully it's the same. Okay, so put your sharp point on 2 on your layout, and then strike an arc on the outside of 1, and strike another arc on the other side of the other, where 2's at, like so. Alright, now let's look for 3. So here's 3. Get your compass, put your sharp point on your trailing triangle number 3. Open up your pencil point or pen point to your 6-inch height mark. We're going to lock it in place. Okay, put your sharp point on either A or B. Go up, strike an arc. There's 3. Go on this side, strike an arc above, and there's the other 3. 3, 3. Alright, let's keep going. The distance from 3 to 4. So get your compass, confirm that it's the same distance, looks pretty good. So we're going to go on this side now on your layout. Strike an arc. Go on the other side. Strike an arc. Okay. Now let's look for 4 and 4. So here's 4 on your 2-lane triangle. Put your sharp point on 4 and your other end of your compass to your 6-inch height mark. I'm going to lock it in place. Okay. Sharp point on A or B. So in this case I'm going to go A. Strike an arc above. Go on this side. And then strike an arc above that one. And now you found 4. 4 and 4. Okay. Now let's look for 5 and 5 right here. So we're going to get the distance from 4 to 5. Confirm, looks pretty good. Okay, put your sharp point on your layout on number 4. And then strike an arc on the outer end of 4. Same thing on this side. Strike an arc. Okay, now let's look for 5. So 5 is right here. There you go. And then open up your pen or pencil point to your 6-inch height mark. We're going to lock it in place like so. Sharp point on either A or B. Strike an arc there. Go on the other starting point. Strike an arc there. And now you found 5. 5 and 5. Alright, we're almost there. Alright, so let me just quickly go over this. So what you have here, so what you have here is, you have you have this line right here, which is this, and then you have 1 through 5 right here, and then 1 through 5 here. So now what we do is we need to find this line here to this line here where it'll meet to X. And that's what that's going to be right here. So since we already know that this is 8 inches right here, this is 8, see that? So what we need to do is, since we're doing this in half, we only need to get the 4-inch and divide it by 2. So we're just going to need a 2-inch arc right here. So we're just going to need from here to here 2 inches. So all you have to do now is get your compass, and supposedly from here to here is 2 inches, or should be 2 inches. So you're going to do this. So that's 2 inches. See that? Right there. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to strike random marks on your starting points on A and B. So like so. And then do the same thing on this side. Sharp point on B. And then strike a half moon arc on that end. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's nice and dark. Okay. Alright, now that we have this, now we're going to go and look for X. So, X, put your sharp point where X is at. So in this case, it's a true 6-inch extension or length. We're going to lock it in place like so. See that? Okay. Put your sharp point on 5. Swing it down and you're going to strike an arc crisscrossing the half moon arc. Like so. Okay? Do the same thing on that side of 5. Swing it down and strike an arc right there. And now you've found X. So this is X. And this is X. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some lines going so we can get a shape. And I'd figure, since I'm taking the time to make some lines, figure I'd go ahead and give a shout out to Victor Chavez and his YouTube channel, Victor Chavez Astilleros. If you're new to the maritime industry and you want to know about safety without the technical complications as you struggle with English, or you have coworkers that could benefit from this content, visit at Astilleros619, hashtag safety fácil, hashtag Victor Chavez Astilleros. Si eres nuevo en la industria marítima y quieres saber sobre medidas de seguridad sin tecnicismos porque batallas con el inglés o tienes compañeros que pueden beneficiarse de este contenido, visita @astilleros619, hashtag safety fácil, hashtag Victor Chavez Astilleros. So yeah, definitely check out his channel. Okay, now if everything was done correctly, hopefully this should fit here. So looks like it's pretty close. Alright, so see that? So this is this piece right here. So it goes like so, and goes this way, and then I guess I can just flam this, right? So watch, see that? And that is what you want right there. And that should be here. And then this. And then you can also add an extension right here so that you can have, I'm not sure where I left off on the video, but what I was saying is I added this flange right here so that you can kind of have an idea of how you can connect it up to a wall. And then I added these extensions right here, 1 inch, so that you can have another piece of ventilation, like say an elbow, kind of go in and you know, slide into here. And then just quickly try showing you how to make this. All you do is take your square and just add 90-degree lines like so. So in this case I'm going 1 inch like that. So you see how you do it parallel, or I'll line up this edge to the base of the vent, and then in this case I'm doing 1 inch because that's 1 inch. So I can do the same thing here, from there to there, 1 inch. Flip it over. I mean, you don't have to go 1 inch. You can even go more to say you know, extend this piece out. So it can either be 2 inches or, you know, depending on what the application is for. So let me just show you guys. That's 1 inch. So yeah, so just like this, pretty easy. Oops, forgot this side. Okay, and there it is. So yeah, pretty much something like this. You can do that. And that's where that'll come into play. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys like the video. If you know of a friend or a co-worker that can use this information and benefit them at work, go ahead and share with them. Let's get more people to start learning how to do these. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.